Dr. Paul Hutchison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to speak on this debate on Crown entities, public organisations and state enterprises, and it is indeed with great pleasure that I speak on Mid-Central Health and indeed the health service in general, because undoubtedly National has reignited life into New Zealand's health service, and Mid-Central Health is one of the classic examples. Because here we have, look at the basic performance criteria over the last 3 quarters at Mid-Central Health. Firstly, diabetes and cardiovascular services, they came up from 4th in the country to 3rd in the country. That's got to be pretty good. Then we get on to better help for smokers to quit. They came up from 12th in the country to 5th in the country. Very, very good progress indeed. When we go to increased immunisation, and that of course is absolutely vital for the children of New Zealand, they came from 16th in the country up to 9th in the country. A great result. But when we go to shorter waits for cancer treatment radiotherapy, they have come up from 19th in the country to 1st equal in the country. So Mid-Central Health, DHB, deserve to be congratulated for these clear, evidence-based progress that they have made over this period of time. And Mr. Chairman, there's absolutely no doubt that under National we have seen, as I said before, a reignition of life into New Zealand's health system, in stark contrast to the previous 9 years where we saw increased bureaucracy, increased wastage, a dismal productivity result where it was basically zero, as clearly identified by successive Treasury reports, and of course very, very poor value for money. But what is extremely important for Mid-Central DHB, as for all DHBs around the country, is workforce. Because in 2010 we have just realised that our nursing workforce, for instance, is now 46,000. 1,000 more nurses than the previous year. A very good result given the difficult times. But let's just think what happened under Labour. All they could do is strategise about workforces. Committee after committee, strategy after strategy, and nothing whatsoever happened. But under this very good national government, what we've seen immediately happen was the creation of Workforce New Zealand under Professor Des Gorman, and there's some very innovative things going on there, but immediately the voluntary bonding scheme, and this has worked extremely well. It includes graduate doctors, midwives and nurses, and has been oversubscribed for a 2nd year in a row. 501 new health graduates have just joined the scheme. And it was very salutary, Mr. Chairman, this afternoon we now have 1,400 doctors, nurses, midwives accepted into the scheme, which offers this student loan debt write-off or cash incentives to stay in New Zealand. Labor had plenty of time to do something, create an initiative like that, but they just failed to do so. And this is vitally important for DHBs like Mid-Central Health. This year's intake includes 45 midwives, 392 nurses and 64 doctors. In fact, almost half of new midwifery graduates have joined the scheme. And of course, Mr. Chairman, it does take time for these to work through. What we have today is the legacy of Labor's dismal performance, but fortunately the reignition of the New Zealand health workforce through the national government. Mr. Chair.